All right, guys, how's it going? So earlier today, I recorded a video about Ibrahima Konaté and the conflicting reports that were coming out of France and Spain regarding the Liverpool defender. One was by Loïc Tanzi at L'Equipe, and the other was by José Félix Díaz at AS in Madrid. And basically, what I should have done in that video was ask you what Dave thought. I got his analysis. He broke the things down for me. But after publishing the video, I thought, I wonder what Dave actually thinks. Like, who would he go with? So let's give it a go, right? Let's see what he says. Hey, Dave, how you doing, mate?
Hey, Doug, I'm doing great, mate. Always a pleasure to chat. Let's dive in and see what we can cook up today.
Okay, listen. So the articles, the conflicting articles about Ibrahima Konaté, who would you believe, right? Who would you go believe? Are you going with Loïc Tanzi or are you going with José Félix Díaz? Explain your answer as to who you pick and why.
Absolutely, Doug. Let's break it down. So if I'm picking between Loïc Tanzi and José Félix Díaz, I'd lean pretty strongly toward José Félix Díaz, and here's why. Díaz is essentially the go-to guy for Real Madrid news, almost like the Paul Joyce of Madrid. He's got that direct line to the club's inner workings. So when he says something, it's often reflecting what Madrid really think. Loïc Tanzi is reputable, sure, but he's more on the French side of things. He's likely getting info from agents or player sources, which might be a bit more, let's say, optimistic from Liverpool's perspective. So in a nutshell, Díaz is the one probably giving you the real temperature of Madrid, and if he's saying Konaté is as good as gone in their eyes, that's probably the safer bet.
Okay, so Tanzi is basically agent-friendly optimism and Díaz is Madrid establishment voice, in other words. So there's a difference. We're going from the speculative, opinionated views of agents and the messages they're trying to throw around to maybe get better deals or whatever, versus Real Madrid saying, you're conveying this message from the boardroom to the fans. Is that what you mean?
Exactly, you got it spot on. Tanzi is more like the voice of the players' camp, where a bit of spin and optimism can help them in negotiations or just keep things smooth. Meanwhile, Díaz is pretty much carrying the message that's coming straight from the Real Madrid higher-ups. It's like he's the club's semi-official channel to set the narrative for the fans. So yeah, you're definitely moving from the world of agent-driven PR to the world of Real Madrid's boardroom-approved hints. That's the big difference.
Okay, so could Tanzi be publishing this, these articles in France claiming that Liverpool are confident that they're going to sign or extend Konaté? Could they be saying that, getting that out there to put pressure on Real Madrid, leverage in negotiations, do you think?
Absolutely, that's a classic tactic. So it's definitely possible that Tanzi, by putting out those Liverpool are confident stories in France, is basically helping to put a bit of public pressure on Real Madrid. It's like a little nudge to say, hey, if you really want this player, you better move, because Liverpool are feeling good about keeping him. It can be a way to get Madrid to speed things up or even improve their offer if they think there's a real risk of losing out. In other words, yeah, it's probably part of the negotiation dance. It's all about using the media to shape the narrative and maybe get a little leverage in the process.
So what's your prediction? You think Konaté stays at Liverpool? Do you think he goes to Real Madrid, or do you think he might go somewhere different like Bayern? What? That's the last question for you, Dave. Which one are you going with, mate?
All right, putting me on the spot here, but I'm always up for a bit of footy fortune telling. Honestly, if I had to place a bet right now, I'd say the stars are probably aligning for Konaté to head to Real Madrid. With someone like José Félix Díaz consistently beating that drum, it feels like Madrid's got a pretty strong pull here. And if Liverpool are already acting like they might lose him, well, that's often a sign. Bayern's a possibility, but seems like a longer shot compared to Madrid. So yeah, my guess is he's more likely to end up at the better Bale than to stick around at Anfield. But hey, in football, you never know until the ink's dry.
Dave, I lied. I've got one more question for you. Sorry, brother. We often see Liverpool have offered Konaté a new contract, and some fans think that's a positive then because he hasn't, maybe made a decision. Why would Liverpool continue offering him a contract if they feel that they've lost him?
No worries at all, Dunk. Fire away with as many questions as you like. Always happy to chat. So let's dive into that. Basically, from Liverpool's perspective, there's a couple of reasons they'd keep offering Konaté a new deal, even if they feel like he might be slipping away. One, it's about covering all bases and keeping the door open. As long as there's a contract offer on the table, they're signalling to him and to anyone else that they still value him and want him to stay. 2, it's also a bit of a negotiation tactic. By continually offering a new deal, Liverpool are kind of saying, look, we're serious about keeping you, which can sometimes make a player think twice or at least give them a bit of a pause. It's about showing commitment on their side so that if anything changes, maybe the Madrid move wobbles or Konaté has second thoughts, there's still a clear path back to staying at Anfield. In short, it's a mix of keeping the relationship warm and making sure that if there's any chance of him staying, they haven't burned that bridge. It doesn't necessarily mean they believe he'll definitely stay, but it means they're not giving up on the possibility.
Okay, mate. Nice one. Thanks. I'll speak to you later.
You're absolutely welcome, mate. Always a pleasure. Catch you later and have a good one.
Well, that's what Dave thinks. All right. See you in a bit. If you enjoyed the video, thumbs up the video. Drop me a comment. Super thanks button. Love heart. Revolut links. Fucking beers. Whatever, guys. What do you think of that? Are you inclined to listen to what he feels? Or are you just going to go, oh, it's an AI. What does it fucking know? Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Let me know what you think, guys. Cheers.